people. Dr. Eve here. Hope all is well. Welcome to another Living Well is a Lifestyle vlog. This morning, it's Saturday, everybody, and I did it. I got up anyway. This morning was a little harder than usual, but your girl got up and did it anyway. So we did 2.5 miles this morning. That's about almost 5,000 steps. So we have another 5,000 to go today. But I need to take some time to transfer these beautiful volunteers into these containers because we had a bunch of tomatillos to volunteer themselves to the garden. Um, I don't know how, I know how they were seated. They were seated somehow. And so we thank God for that. But we are now taking this uh, batch of, let's see if you can see it, this batch of tomatillos right here that volunteered. It's a beautiful thing, y'all, because I really was looking for some seeds, tomatillo seeds, because I love tomatillos. They are the best. They're shielded from pests until you are ready to eat them. And look at all these tomatillos that I now have growing. So they get really tall. And as you can see, these came in with a vengeance. And so we're going to put some of them into our green stalk, and we're going to put some into these containers back here with all of the okra and cucumbers. And, I got a lot going on back here, and I'm really excited about it. So, for those of you who are thinking about gardening and desiring to garden, these were volunteers. These are in a long trough. They're growing. Look at that. They are literally in a banister, the kind of of planter that goes on your banister, but probably won't do really well or maximize their growth ability if I don't take them out of here because they can get really tall. So we're going to be taking them out of here and we're going to be putting them into these containers. I don't know if you can see this container, but these containers are beautiful. I was able to get these containers from, I guess I should put you over here so you actually can see. Let me move this over here so you can actually see the containers. So these are the containers that I bought from, where did I get them from? Dollar General. They had them on sale. Also have some on sale at Aldi's if you can find them there. I had a lot of soil that I had brought in the spring, so I needed to go ahead and do something with that and maximize my ability to grow. So I filled all of these containers with that soil and, of course, amended it with some Happy Frog and some other peat moss because it's a container. It's good to have those amendments in the soil. And so everything here is growing nicely in the pots, as you can see back here. All of our um, okra are doing really, really well in these containers. Our lemon trees are on the next aisle, which are also doing well back there. And now we're going to work on these here. So just getting them in here and not just letting this good soil, just sit here. We have to maximize our ability to grow with all the things that are happening in the world. I am quietly becoming less dependent on the markets, less dependent on the grocery store. And by that, I simply mean, you know, we see we see in the news, we see what's happening in the news without even mentioning it, even with our produce, So I don't want to take the risk, you know. I don't want to continue taking the risk with my family. So I am going to do what is necessary, whether it's on some containers on the patio, or some containers on the cement, the containers in the flower bed. You know, we just gotta do what we gotta do, and I believe that you can. And so God also wants us to be taking care of our bodies. And by that, our bodies are a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. And that is our reasonable service. And that is the assignment in this hour, um, to, to take back, to remove ourselves from being casualties of chronic illness. I am, had some pre-diabetes numbers. I had some pre-hypertension numbers. I had some hypertensive events. But I'm 63, and I'm going to turn it around, because I refuse to be a casualty of chronic illness, uh, to chronic illness, because those are things that are preventable, and we can turn them around, and that is the goal. So we're going to be taking these out of this planter, out of this small planter, and giving them some space to grow. They're coming out pretty good too, because this was prepared. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know these seeds were in there. It was prepared for me to grow something in, and these came up in it. So the seeds were already in the ground, and once I started mixing the soil together, they had some healthy soil to grow in. Look at the root system on that. It's beautiful. So, but back to the importance of taking care of ourselves. That's what God wants for us. We can't do His work in the earth if we don't take care of ourselves. So, to God be all the glory. I am snatching it back, and I am inviting those. Hello, purifier. I am snatching my health back, and for all of you who are out there and desire to have the support in doing so, we have started a group. We've started a small group, both local and um, global communities, to do to get ourselves back to snatch our health, because health is wealth. If we're not in good health, we can't be there for our families, right? And I know that it is not God's desire that I, you know, have a premature life, a premature. He didn't save me all those years ago. You see how easy that came out? He didn't save me all those years ago for me to just give up on life. We make decisions, right? And so our decisions drive, our ability to do the work we're called to do. And so whether that's eating the wrong things, whether that's succumbing to the world systems, whether that's, he gave us the food that he wanted us to eat. And that's whole food, that's the food off the vine, the food out of the ground, the food off the tree, not not the food that's, mixed in boxes and preservatives and, just snatching. Oh, these were actually getting ready to fold. I'm actually glad I came in here today, because they are they needed some room. So because they were starting to bend at the nodes. These have nodes on them, and I'm gonna plant them kind of deep, because they look like they have the ability, tentacles. If you look here, if you can see those tentacles going right here, that's root systems. That's where they can root. So I'm gonna plant them up to here, maybe, to get them to root solidly in this planter, in this container. So they can have really strong root systems to do, give, and produce, because we have this container is a 17-gallon container. So it has the ability to produce some things. So we are going to see, I'm going to keep y'all posted on these containers of tomatillos, because these are the tomatillos. I'm so excited. Um, and what else we need to plant? Some other things. We need to plant some potatoes, but I think I'm gonna put those in towers. And I'm definitely gonna put them on on this patio concrete, because when you get ready um, to unload those containers to get your potatoes out, they don't need to be on the dirt side. You need to have it so you can easily scoop your dirt back up and get it back into the pot. But on the note of healthy, y'all, we have to prepare for what's ahead. We have to make sure that our bodies have the capacity to do and to withstand the wiles of the enemy. I am looking at all those grapes over there, y'all. They are turning purple now. I have red grapes, I have muscadines, and I have green grapes. And they are doing well. I'm super excited. This is literally the results of just being vigilant. Making a decision that if you can see that, I'm hoping you can see it. Or I can just flip my camera. Let me see if I could just flip my camera. I don't know if you can see the grapes from here, but let's see if I can zone in. Do y'all see them beautiful grapes? Can y'all see them? Can y'all see the grapes turning colors under there? Oh, so nice. And they go all the way along I created and built this arbor because I had a feeling that they were going to explode this year. um, I, I felt like they were going to be in abundance this year, so I went ahead and did the work ahead of myself to make ahead of them coming in, so that they would have a place to grow, and they're doing their thing. Honestly, when I started planting, I never envisioned all of this. But as this is my fifth year on this property, and so I just have been. Oh, there's a lot of ants in that pot, or are those aphids? They ants. They gotta be ants. At any rate, I never imagined all of this. But as I continued to do what God called me to do, which was to grow food and not grass, I began to see what was possible. And so, small steps, baby steps to do this work, right? Baby steps, just baby steps, just a bunch of containers can start the process for you. Nice chat, I agree 100%. We were meant to live off the land. Happy growing, sis. Thank you so much, Jack Griffin. Right, we were meant to live off the land. That's what he gave us, and my numbers, every time I take my numbers, part of snatching back your health is also knowing your labs, having your numbers, because if you don't know where you are, then you don't know what to work on, because there are all these numbers. And as a researcher, I know how to research and understand my numbers, because I've been studying my numbers and my body. And that is what we all must do. We must be participants of our own healthcare, because just understand this much, that Our medical doctors are there to manage the disease. Let me say that again. They are there to manage the disease, except you take full control and say, well, I don't want that to be my story. I don't want pills to be my story. I Is there a better way? Like, okay, if my heart arterial arteries are having a problem, then how do I fix the artery? Not manage it, manage the closure of the artery that will inevitably end up in a bypass or a stent to keep it open, because eventually your body will become resistant to the medication, right? When as long as Because it's there to just manage, and as your body begins to resist, they're going to go to more complicated procedures to um, to keep you alive. When in essence, God's food was designed to keep us alive, and our questions should be to our doctors: well, how do I fix the arterial wall of my heart? How do I fix the artery? Can I still fix it? Yes, you can reverse a lot of things over time, but it takes eating right, it takes knowledge, it takes understanding, and it takes the wisdom to apply that knowledge and wisdom that you are gaining through understanding, right? So that is the goal here on our channel, to, you know, we're not going to be casualties of the war on chronic illness. We declare war on it, right? And so if that is you, then you are in the right place, because here on this channel we talk about all things living well, from the soil up, throughout life. That means our bodies, our families, and our communities, and all the things, right? But we have to begin with us. We have to begin to flip the script to be a good soldier, right? To give our bodies over to Him so that we can do the work that He's called us to do. So I'm not going to stay long, because I am going to get these I promised myself I was going to get these. We had a hard rain last night, and I'm going to get these tomatillos in this soil so I can move on to cutting back these blackberries that are going to take over. This is an entire permaculture out here. So eventually, a year over year, this stuff is just going to keep coming back, and that was the goal. How do you build a system that will feed you over time without continuing to buy into the system that is currently available? Here's why you should start now. And I need you to hear me and hear me clearly. If you cannot see the handwriting on the wall about the seed system and how everything is becoming seedless, and once it's all seedless, you have to buy into their system to get their seeds. The seeds will be patented. The seeds will become licensed. You won't be able to grow them without a license. You won't be able to save your seeds from food that you purchased if you aren't careful, if you don't start right now. I don't buy hybrid seeds for that very reason, because hybrid seeds are seeds that some collector or that merged some stuff together, and they came up with a hybrid. And that hybrid will be licensed, and you cannot save those seeds, right? If they find them in your yard, you in trouble, okay? You will be in trouble. So let this be a warning to the wise that we don't need anyone sitting around just watching. We need you to be participants in the process of your independence. You know, this independence past, gave it new meaning for me. Growing food is sovereignty. That is my independence. And that's something that helps me to feed my family. You know, if I don't have anything else to feed them, God said that I've given you every seed bearing thing as meat to eat. Grow you some chickens. I have some chickens that give me eggs, so I get protein from that. You can get protein even from vegetables and beans. You know, grow beans, grow avocados wherever you are. You know, I don't know where you are in the world, but slowly but surely the system is moving in on us. Let's be clear. It's moving in, and do what you need to do now. Grow you some food, and also make sure you are sacrificing this body to him who died for you. Okay? I'm Dr. Eve. I'm going to go back to getting this work done. That is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed the information and, of course, the conversation. If you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment box down below. Join our community. If you're here and you're subscribed, then you have access to the community. If you have questions, ask your questions in the community. Let someone help you. That's what community is all about, right? So to God be the glory on this beautiful day where the sun is shining and just giving me this good vitamin D. Soon I'm going to be coming to you showing you some different techniques that I'm also going to be using as a 63-year-old, to build up my strength out here on the rock. We'll be doing some of that and inviting you into another level of living well here on this channel. Until next time, everyone, I love you, friends. See you next time. Remember, living well is truly